So next type of transformation is the vertical expansion or compression. So vertical expansion and compression, they occur when the y variable is directly multiplied by a constant k. So that usually happens outside function. So y is equal to f of x becomes k times y equals f of x. So this form is to show you that k is multiplied to the y, but usually we use the form as y is equal to 1 over k, f of x times f of x. So the second form is more common form for vertical expansion slash compression. So when you have this form, this tells us that constant multiplication is happening outside function. But if you're using this first form, ky is equal to f of x, and that is also the same idea. It's just to show you that the k is multiplied to the variable y. Okay, let's take a look at some examples. Y is x squared, and you have the transformed function 3y is x squared. So as you can see, the 3 is multiplied to the y, so y becomes 3y. So the k value is 3. So it's for vertical expansion or compression. We'll take a look at what conditions we have for expansion to identify whether it is for expansion or compression, and shortly. Y is square root of x. That becomes 2 over 3y is equal to square root of x. So this one also, there is multiplication for y variable. Y becomes 2 over 3y. So here the k is 2 over 3. Y is absolute value of x. Transformed to negative 5y is absolute value of x. Y is changed to negative 5y, and you can call the k as 5 positive y, 5 for vertical expansion or compression, and negative sign for reflection. What if you have a second form of function in transformation? Y is equal to x squared, transformed as y is 4x squared. So the k value is not multiplied to the y anymore. The k is moved to the other side of the function, the right side of the function. So what you can do is you can move it back to the y to figure out what the k is. So we can just divide by 4 the whole equation. So it can be written as like that. So 1 over 4y is equal to x squared. So the y becomes 1 over 4y. So the k is now 1 over 4. Y square root of x. Y is 3 over 4 square root of x. Move this 3 over 4 to multiply to the y. Divide by the 3 over 4, which means the fraction will be flipped, taking the reciprocal. So now becomes 4 over 3 instead of 3 over 4. So y becomes 4 over 3. So the k is 4 over 3. And the last one, y is absolute value of x. Y is 1 over 2 absolute value of x. Divide whole equation by negative 2. If you want, you can divide it by positive 2 and take the negative as a reflection. But let's keep it simple. Divide the equation by negative 2 and write it as k as a negative number. So negative 1 over 2y is equal to absolute value of x. So y becomes negative 1 over 2y. So the k is negative 1 over 2. Okay, so always remember that the constant k will appear as the reciprocal of on the other side of the equation for vertical expansion and or compression. So when you have the k at fractional k value, just make sure you use the correct form, the correct reciprocal form to identify the k value or factor constant. So here is another summary for vertical expansion compression, or horizontal expansion and horizontal compression as well. So for horizontal expansion and horizontal compression, when the k is between 0 and 1, horizontal expansion is happening by factor of 1 over k. When k is greater than 1, then it's horizontal compression by factor of 1 over k as well. For vertical expansion and vertical compression, ky is equal to f of x, or y is 1 over k times f of x. When k is in between 0 and 1 values, vertical expansion is happening by factor of 1 over k. So when you have this form of function for vertical expansion compression, the factor is that exactly same number that you use for is for the value that you multiply to the whole function. When k is greater than 1, then it's for the compression for vertical by factor of 1 over k. So enough of the all the rules. Let's apply those rules to the examples. So for the following examples, we're going to identify or indicate what transformation is happening, and we're going to identify the k values and whether it is for expansion or compression. So x becomes 2x. So the k is 2. So the constant that is multiplied to the variable x is 2. And since we're multiplying to the x variable, it's the horizontal. And the k value is greater than 1. So it will be for compression, horizontal compression by factor of 1 over 2. So if the factor is less than 1, it will be compression. If the factor is greater than 1, then it will be expansion. It's same rules for horizontal and vertical. Example 2, y is x squared. Transform to y is 3x squared. Okay, so just be careful for this example. The 3 is, it looks like 3 is multiplied to the variable x, but it is not, because 3 is actually multiplied to the x squared. So it's not for the vertical compression or expansion. It is actually for the other one, but let's change the form to verify that it is for the vertical case. Okay, so we're gonna divide the whole equation by the 3, and it will be 1 over 3y is equal to x squared. So as you can see, there is no change to x variable. The y, only the y is changed. So y becomes 1 over 3y. So k value is 1 over 3. So it is for the variable y, it's for vertical. And since the k is less than 1 but greater than 0, it will be for vertical expansion by factor of reciprocal of the k, which is 3. So it makes sense that it is for expansion getting bigger or thicker because the factor is 3, which is greater than 1. Next one, y is absolute value of x. That becomes y is 1 over 2 absolute value of x. So the value, the constant is now multiplied to the x variable. So let's change the form. Move the 1 over 2 the variable y by dividing by 1 over 2. Which means same as multiplying by 2. So 2y is absolute value of x. So y becomes 2y. So it is for k equals 2. Since the variable y is changed, it's for vertical. And since k is greater than 1, it's for compression by factor of reciprocal of the k, 1 over 2. Since the factor is 1 over 2, the function is squeezed, so that means it's for compression. Let's do the last example to finish. Example 4, the y is equal to f of x, and that transforms to y is equal to 3f of 1 over 2x. So this 1 over 2 is multiplied to the x, and this 3 can be written as 1 over 3 multiplied to the y. We're going to divide the whole equation by 3. So that becomes 1 over 3y is equal to f of 1 over 2x. So y becomes 1 over 3y, and x becomes 1 over 2x. So there are two different transformations happening in this example. So one is y becomes 1 over 3y. That is for the vertical expansion by factor of 3. And the other one is x becomes 1 over 2x. So that's for the horizontal expansion by factor of reciprocal of 1 over 2, which is 2. Okay, so that is for today. And thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.